tell you something. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make in life is not making a move at all. It's about stepping back and getting quiet. Because silence, true silence, is not a sign of weakness. It is strength under control, pain that has been transformed into wisdom, and discipline wrapped in patience. There comes a time in your life when you stop chasing people. You stop explaining yourself to those who are determined to misunderstand you. You begin to focus on yourself, on your peace, your growth, your calling. You come to understand that not every battle is worth fighting. Not every insult deserves your energy. And not every person is meant to go where you're headed. That's when the shift begins. Have you ever found yourself in a room full of noise, voices clashing, opinions swirling, chaos rising, and felt something inside telling you to just be still? That's not weakness. That's your soul speaking. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them assume. Because silence, real, intentional silence, is a form of strength that most will never comprehend. In a world that constantly pushes you to react, to post, to clap back, to defend your side of the story, silence becomes a rare and dangerous kind of discipline. People will call you distant. They'll label you cold. They'll say, you've changed. And the truth is, they're right. You have changed. You've grown. You've realized that peace is not found in winning arguments. Peace is found in knowing exactly who you are without having to announce it. That's maturity. That's real power. And more than anything, that's freedom. There is something uniquely powerful about the person who chooses not to respond. The one who no longer feels the need to justify every step, defend every move, or explain every decision. You begin to understand that not everyone is worthy of your energy. Some people are simply noise in the story of your life, and you don't have to entertain it. Holding your tongue while someone tries to provoke you, that's power. Choosing not to participate in drama, that's growth. Silence isn't avoidance, it's intention. It's the deliberate choice to value peace over pride, to prioritize purpose over ego.
And don't
ever let anyone confuse that for weakness. A person who can stay silent while being judged, tested, or doubted is a person who has mastered the art of self-control. And self-control is the foundation of every strong soul. Silence brings clarity. When you stop speaking so much, you begin to hear more, especially from God. The world is loud.
Hey, girl, hey.
People are loud. But truth, real truth, is quiet. It doesn't shout. It waits patiently for silence to reveal it. That's why those who constantly need noise never truly find peace. Because peace lives in the quiet spaces, in the stillness of the moment, when you stop chasing and start listening. When you embrace silence, you begin to see what really matters. You notice who genuinely cares. You recognize what actually deserves your time. And most importantly, you discover who you are when no one is watching. That version of you, the one that doesn't crave applause, doesn't wait for permission, that's the real you.
What y'all doing?
And when you find that version, you begin to build from a place of confidence, not insecurity. You no longer need to shout to be heard. You don't have to scream to be seen. Let your silence speak for you. Let your calm be your response. Because those who are truly strong never feel the need to prove it. They show it in how they walk, in how they breathe, in how they move through storms without complaining about the rain. Weak people talk about what they're going to do. Strong people just do it. Quietly, consistently, powerfully. And when it's done, the world notices. Not because you told them, but because you showed them. That's real strength. That's the kind of legacy silence builds.
Good morning,
not
girl.
a performance, but a foundation.
Oh, I can relate.
There's a reason they say still waters run deep. The deeper the soul, the less noise it makes. You won't find a storm raging in a shallow puddle. But when the ocean is calm, that's when it's most powerful. That's the kind of silence you want to cultivate. The kind that's grounded, unshaken, unmoved. People will try to provoke you just to see you react. They'll test your patience just to see if you'll break your character. But when you stay silent, When you hold on
I
to
gotta
peace
learn
with
how
a
to
steady
stay
heart,
silent, child.
that's when
I
you
am
earn the
working on
highest form of
myself.
respect, not just from
It's a
others,
process. I
but
am
from
working on
yourself.
myself.
You begin
Ooh,
to
child.
understand that not everything deserves a reaction. Not everything deserves your presence. Silence unsettles people because it forces them to confront their own noise. When you stop engaging in arguments, when you no longer react to every insult, when you stay quiet in spaces where you once fought for validation,
Ooh,
it sends a powerful message.
This
A
shit is
message that
hitting
says,
home
I've
because like
outgrown
this is
this.
like
And growth,
describing
real
everything
growth,
right now. Come
is
through,
silent.
Shelby. Thank you, baby.
You'll never hear a tree grow.
I know,
but one
Princess.
day
I'm
its roots are so
trying. Good
deep and its
morning.
branches so strong that no storm can shake it.
It's a process,
That's what
girl.
silence does. It deepens your roots.
Ooh,
It strengthens your
thank
foundation.
you, Nurse.
It prepares you for storms you don't even see coming. And when those storms arrive, you won't need to raise your voice. You'll just stand there unmoved. And don't think for a moment that people don't notice. They see your silence. They feel it. They talk about it. Some are confused by it. Others feel threatened by it.
Hey, girl.
But the right ones, the ones with depth and wisdom, they respect it. Because silence makes people turn inward.
I was just scrolling on YouTube looking for a live, and I ran across this.
They can't drag
and I'm like,
you into their mess.
What?
When your peace stays unshaken, they begin to understand that you are different. You are building something real. You are building stability, discipline, and purpose. And those things cannot be bought or faked. They can only be earned in quiet moments. We have been taught to believe that strength must be loud, that power needs to be shouted to be real. But silence is the language of the strong. It belongs to those who have been broken and still manage to stand. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they understand that saying it is not always worth it. They have learned the value of letting go,
or if you
of walking away without bitterness,
have a great day
of choosing peace over pride. And in that choice, they have found something rare and unshakable. They have found freedom, the kind that cannot be stolen by gossip or disrespect or misunderstanding. Silence teaches you patience,
has begun.
and patience is a weapon. In a world that races and pushes and pulls, you become the one who waits, the one who watches, the one who listens, the one who moves when it is time, not when emotions demand it. And when you move like that, you become powerful in the quietest, most intentional way. You are no longer reacting. You are responding. You are not emotional. You are deliberate. And when you speak, every word carries weight. People begin to lean in, not because you are loud, but because they know your words are backed by presence and purpose. That is what silence gives you. It makes your presence undeniable even when you say nothing at all. And that kind of presence is true influence. So do not let the world convince you that silence means surrender. It does not.
Thank you,
It means you are rising. It means you are learning how to build in private, how to protect what matters without shouting, how to lead without needing a spotlight. It means you have stopped trying to explain yourself to people who never valued the explanation in the first place. It means you have discovered something sacred. You have found the strongest version of yourself. The version that does not need to be seen to make an impact. The one that does not need to shout to change a room. Because your silence, it speaks with more force than noise ever could. There comes a moment in life when you stop choosing noise and start choosing peace.
And I think
Not because you have stopped caring, but because you care more than ever. You care about your mind, your heart, and your spirit. You realize that you cannot afford to allow anything to disturb your peace anymore. Because peace is not just a feeling, it is survival. It is healing. It is the force that holds you together when everything else tries to tear you apart. And once you experience real peace, you never go back to begging for chaos to understand you. Peace does not mean your life is perfect. It means you no longer waste energy on what drains you. It means you walk away from what dishonors your soul, even if it feels familiar. It means you release the people who only show up to take, to drain, and to disappoint. When peace becomes your priority, subtraction becomes sacred.
Have y'all ever been in a position
You
like
stop
where you always like had to be the
stop
strongest
chasing
person?
closure.
So
You
when
stop
you be the
answering
strongest
calls that
person,
only
then
bring confusion
who be there for the strong
because your
people?
peace is sacred
I
now.
always wanted to know that,
And when you
y'all.
start treating it like something holy, life begins to shift. Not only around you, but within you.
Yes.
You wake up with clarity. You move with intention.
People don't. Some
You
people
stop
don't.
seeking
Some
validation
people
from
take this
people
shit
who
for
never
granted.
saw your worth, even when you stood right in front of them. You stop trying to prove yourself in rooms you have already outgrown. And when your peace is your standard, you become unshakable.
Like for real,
You start
like
measuring success by your
who be there for the
stillness,
strong
not by the
person?
noise that surrounds you.
They
And
don't
that
think
is
the
when you
strong person
truly
get weak
step into your
sometimes,
power.
or they just think
Not
the
the
strong
power that
person always
crushes
be
others,
strong.
but the kind that grounds
I be
you and
thinking about
holds you
this.
steady in every storm.
Hey,
People will
girl,
not always
hey.
understand this version of you. They will
Hey,
say
my
you have changed.
ranger.
They will
How
say
you
you have
doing,
become
girl?
distant. But what they do not know is what it cost you to find this peace. They were not there for the tears, the breaking points, the nights you were barely holding on. They did not witness the healing you fought for in silence. So no, you are not cold. You are careful. You are guarded with your soul because you have learned that
Hope
not
you're doing
everyone deserves
okay.
access to it. Some only loved you when you were broken because it made you easier to control. But not anymore, not now. Now peace sits at the center of your life. And peace requires boundaries. You will lose people when you start protecting your peace.
Did
But
y'all
let
hear
them
that?
go. Because if your
You
peace
lose people when
offends
you start
them,
protecting
they
your
were
peace.
never meant to stay. Because real love does
Give me a
not
minute.
come with chaos. Real friends do not leave you feeling drained. And if someone becomes upset because you chose your well-being over their
Oh, yeah,
comfort,
we assume.
that is not your
But
burden
we-
to carry.
yeah,
That is a sign
girl.
they never truly respected you.
You spot on
Your
with that.
peace is not a negotiation.
Come
It is
through,
not a team
Karen.
decision.
Thank you.
It is not a shared project. It is yours. And if someone is disrupting it, they have already shown you everything you need to know. Protecting your peace means saying no. It means being misunderstood.
Okay.
It means
I'm
walking
definitely
away even when your
misunderstood.
heart aches and doing it anyway. There is no greater act of self-love than guarding your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. The stress, the anxiety, the emotional
How y'all
exhaustion
doing
you've
this
normalized.
morning? I hope
That
everybody
is
is
not
having
life.
a
That is the
good
absence of
morning
peace.
so
And
far.
you have every right to step away
I
from
know some of y'all
anything that
getting off
robs
of
you
work
of
or
joy,
getting ready to go
of
to
balance,
work.
of hope.
And some of y'all just
You were not
rich, so
created
y'all
to
can
live
just
in
be
a state of
online all
defense and
day and night
survival.
because y'all
You
rich. I
deserve
can't wait
mornings
to
that
get
begin
there,
with ease, not
baby.
dread.
Give me the
Days that move
sauce,
with focus,
please.
not drama. Nights that end with gratitude, not spiraling thoughts.
Whew.
That is the life peace builds. And it begins the moment you decide it matters more than anything else. You do not have to wait for a breakdown to begin protecting your peace. You do not have to wait until your body is too tired to move, until your heart is numb, until your mind is drowning in noise.
Yes, I can relate.
Start now.
You know how you listen to
Start
something and you
before
can
the
just
burnout.
relate? Like that is
Start before the
crazy.
anxiety becomes your default
So you
state.
getting ready for bed.
Because
So
your
it's time
peace
to
is not
wind
something
down.
you randomly find. It is something you
Thank you,
create.
baby.
You create it through
I'm working
boundaries,
on
through choices, through
myself.
silence, through walking
Girl, it's
away
a
from what does not
process.
serve you. It is not easy, but it is worth it. And once you start choosing peace, you will wonder why you ever lived any other way. The people you thought you needed, the ones you fought to keep, will no longer matter when your soul finally exhales. Because you were never meant to carry what is not yours. You were never meant to fix everyone's problems at the cost of your own spirit.
I gotta
You were
learn
never
it. I
supposed to
am
be the
learning.
emotional dumping ground for people who never even asked how you are.
What? Oh, wow.
Let that truth sink in. It is not selfish to protect your energy. It is necessary, because when you are drained, you have nothing left to give. When your spirit is unsettled, you cannot even hear your own purpose. When you are consumed by other people's chaos, you forget the sound of your own peace. Reclaim it. Reconnect with it. Make peace your foundation again. Start showing up for yourself the way you've always shown up for others. Give yourself the grace, the patience, the stillness that you hand out so freely to everyone else.
Oh,
You
wait,
do
that
not have to
sound
be
like
available
somebody
for
like
everything.
me.
You do not have to explain your distance. Sometimes protecting your peace means stepping back,
I'm
going
learning.
silent, recharging, and returning whole.
Girl, I'm glad you're
Because the
receiving
world
it,
does
girl,
not
because I
need more
am.
people
Somebody
who are
probably do need
constantly
to hear this, because I
overwhelmed. It
did.
needs people who are whole,
Yes.
surrounded
Amanda.
who are healed.
I'm learning.
And that starts with you. You cannot control everything around you, but you can control what you allow into your life. Peace is not a coincidence. It is a daily decision. So every time you feel tempted to return to what broke you, remind yourself that your peace is your priority. Every time someone tries to pull you into chaos, remember what matters most.
Is your priority.
And every time you feel guilty for choosing solitude, for setting boundaries, for creating space,
Thank you.
take a breath and repeat the truth.
Thank you.
My peace is my priority. Because without peace, success feels hollow. Love becomes heavy.
Peace
Life feels
is a
like
priority,
survival.
y'all.
But with peace,
Let's not forget.
everything blooms. The heart begins to heal. Purpose begins to rise. That is the life you are meant for. That is the new standard. Not chaos, not drama, just peace. Deep, unshakable, sacred peace. And then one day you realize something powerful. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone has earned the right to hold your heart, to know your dreams, to witness your fears. You spend too much time giving the most sacred parts of yourself to people who only gave you fragments in return. You let
people don't know that some people get sick and shit be
near.
happening because they be
But
stressed
now you
out,
understand.
worried about what
Your
other
presence is a
people got
gift.
going on,
Your
not
energy is
prioritizing
sacred.
themselves.
Your time is
I'm
valuable.
guilty sometimes.
And
I
from
am.
this moment forward, you will no longer apologize for protecting them. People will claim they know you, but all they know is the version you allowed them to see. They were visitors in your story, not the authors of it. You do not owe anyone unlimited access to your emotions, your energy, your healing, or your kindness.
This for real life and on the internet, like real talk relationships, family, like this shit real deal. I can
because they
relate.
never learned how to build their own. But you are not a rehabilitation center for people who refuse to grow. You are not a sanctuary for those who keep burning down your peace. And you are done shrinking just to fit into spaces that never saw your worth. You do not need to keep explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You do not need to keep...
He said you do not gotta keep explaining yourself to people that's committed to misunderstanding you. They're right there. They're right there. That right there, though. Wow, they're right there.
Opening doors for people who only know how to walk in and create mess. Some will confuse your kindness for weakness. Some will think your silence means agreement. But what they fail to understand is that you are not silent because you have nothing to say. You are silent because they no longer deserve to hear your voice. Not everyone gets a seat at your table. Not everyone gets a seat at your table. You are not being cold. You are not being cruel. You are being selective.
Thank you, Amanda.
And there is nothing wrong with that. You've learned through pain and disappointment.
He said it's okay to be selective, y'all. Did y'all hear that? Like, it's okay. It's okay.
That access to you is a privilege, not a right. The people who genuinely care won't need to constantly prove their place in your life, but they also won't make you question it either. And those who keep wounding you with their presence do not deserve another opportunity to cause more damage. Let them go. Not everyone is built to carry the weight of who you truly are, and it is not your responsibility to shrink in order to fit into their limited understanding. You are not a convenience. You are not a supporting character in someone else's chaos. You are not here to fix problems that were never yours to begin with. The moment you begin to protect your access is the moment you begin to protect your peace, your purpose, and your destiny. That's when the clarity comes. And with that clarity, you start seeing who's in your life because they value you and who's there because they need something from you.
They mean a lot.
That awareness becomes your power. That's when you start to level up because boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about filtering what is real from what is not. They separate.
Did y'all just hear that? Boundaries is not about setting people out. It filters. Did y'all just hear that?
The genuine from the opportunistic, the loyal from the ones who only take. You don't owe your vulnerability to everyone. You don't have to share your story with people who haven't earned your trust. Some people only want to get close so they can gather your truth and twist it. So they can use your softness as a strategy and define your strength on their terms. But this is not about becoming bitter. This is about becoming wiser, stronger, and more grounded in who you are. You are allowed to say, no, you don't get that part of me anymore. And when you say that, when you take your power back, sometimes you have to sit with yourself and ask, why am I letting people who've done nothing for me take up so much space in my life? That's when it hits you.
Yes.
It was never about how long they've known you. It was always about how they treated you.
Not even that.
Loyalty isn't measured by time. It's measured by presence, by consistency, by how someone shows up when it matters. Some people have been around for years
you can't
and
even
still never
vent to
truly
people. You can't
supported
even tell people like what you're really going through or how you really feel. Because guess what? When they get mad at you, they're going to throw it back in your face. They're going to use it against you. It's your weakest point. They get the da-da-da-da. You be like, I can confide in you and told you this, and as soon as you get mad or some shit don't go your way, you throwing that shit back up. Like, I don't see who raised these people. Like, I was raised so differently.
Your presence is healing. Your spirit is powerful.
Hey, girl. Good morning.
And you can't keep handing that over to people who mishandle it and then wonder why you feel so empty.
Hold on, y'all. The train coming. Shoot. Hey, y'all.
You are not obligated to answer every call, respond to every message, show up to every invitation. You have the right to disappear, to rest,
I didn't
to
learn
create space.
that. I have learned
not out of rudeness,
to not.
but
I
out of
ain't gonna lie.
self-preservation.
It took me a long time
Because
to learn
once you
that. I
experience the
learned
kind of
it.
peace that comes from protecting your access, you will never let just anyone back in.
Yes.
Watch how your life shifts when you stop trying to be everything for everyone. Watch how your energy changes when you stop pouring into people who cannot hold what you give.
I definitely
You
grew
will
up on
gain
loyalty.
clarity,
A lot of
strength,
people
and
do not know
purpose.
what loyalty
And the
is.
right
I'm telling
people,
you, they do
the
not.
ones who truly care, will respect your boundaries and honor your space.
Like, word is bond. Like,
They will
how I
not
was raised, when
guilt-trip
you
you
say
or
something,
manipulate
actions
you.
speak louder than words
They will
with
love
me.
you in your
You can say
silence,
something all day,
support you through
but your
your
actions
growth,
got to match what you
and
say.
never make you feel
Like,
bad
I'm
for
real
choosing
big
yourself.
on it.
Because
Like,
they
and a lot of
understand.
people
They see your value.
don't like me
and more
because
importantly, they deserve to
if
be
you
there.
say something, you got to
From
mean
this
that
moment
shit. Like,
on,
I'm
you
real
owe
big
no
on
one a
it. Don't tell me no
backstage pass to
anything.
your soul just because
Like,
they
and I
clapped
done
for
lost
you
a lot
once.
of people,
Some
relationships,
people are
just
meant to
friends,
stay in the
because, like,
balcony.
stand on your
They were
shit.
never
Like,
meant to
bitch,
walk
if you
through
tell
the
me
door
you
of your
finna
heart.
pull up in
Don't
5
hand out
minutes, so you better
VIP
be pulling up in
access
5
to
minutes,
people
because
who
that's what
treat
you
you like
said.
general admission.
If you not,
Be
it's okay to
kind,
call
be
back and be like, I'm gonna be
compassionate,
late.
but be
And
selective.
people
Because
don't know how
not
to
everyone deserves
communicate. They don't know
access
how
to
to
you.
just be
And that is not
adults. Like,
arrogance.
I don't know what's
That
going
is
on in this day and
self-respect.
time. It's
That
way
is
different.
discernment. That is power. And now that you know better,
Thank you.
you have to move better.
Hold on, y'all.
Sometimes life strips everything away so you can see what truly matters. The phone stops ringing. The crowd gets quiet. The noise dies down. And all that's left is you in the silence. That is where growth begins. Not when everyone is cheering. Not when things are easy. But when you are alone with your truth. When you are stripped of the distractions. When there's no applause, no performance, no audience, just you.
Yeah, that's real life
Your
right
pain,
there.
your story, and the decisions you choose to make from that space. That silence is not
Definitely
a punishment,
actions
it is
speak loud.
preparation. That is where the deepest transformation begins. Because in the crowd, it's easy to pretend. It's easy to blend in.
Did y'all just hear that? In the crowd, it is so easy to pretend. And we have a lot of pretenders. It's okay to be yourself. Oh, you don't gotta blend in with the crowd. You stand out, baby.
Wear masks to play the part. But when you're alone, the
I just
masks
got on
fall.
live, Cat.
The
Hey,
performance
girl.
ends. And the real you rises to the surface. The version of you you've been avoiding. The version that carries the truth. It's uncomfortable. It's vulnerable. But it's necessary. Because real growth never feels like growth while you're living
How y'all
through it. It feels like
doing?
pain.
Hey,
It feels like
y'all.
confusion. It feels like being alone. But underneath all of that, something sacred is
I hope
happening.
everybody's
A
having
seed
a
is
good
being watered.
morning
A foundation is being
so
laid.
far.
Strength is being built. And and transformation is taking place in the silence. You don't find your strength surrounded by noise. You find it in the quiet, hidden battles no one ever sees. You find it when you're crying at 2 a.m, but still manage to get up the next day and face life head on.
Ooh-wee.
You find it when your phone is silent, yet you still choose to speak life into yourself. You find it when no one checks in on you, but you keep showing up anyway.
That way.
That is what real growth looks like.
That way.
That is maturity.
That way.
That is the process of becoming. Because just like the caterpillar, transformation doesn't happen in front of an audience. It happens alone, in the dark, wrapped in silence and stillness. And when it emerges, it's something unrecognizable. That is what isolation does. It transforms you in private so that you can reintroduce yourself in power. In isolation, you start to learn things about yourself you never noticed before. You begin to uncover your triggers. You realize which wounds never really healed. You confront the boundaries you never set. You come face to face with your habits, your patterns, your choices. And through that confrontation, you find clarity. You discover who you've been, who you are, and who you're called to become. Some of the environments you called comfort were actually cages.
Ooh-wee.
Some of the people you called support were really just distractions.
Okay.
And sitting with that truth may sting, but it also sets you free. Because isolation isn't destroying you. It's breaking down the version of you that was never meant to last. It's removing the false beliefs you used to survive. It's shaking loose the crutches you leaned on for too long. It's exposing the places in your life that you neglected. And yes, it may feel like everything's falling apart, but what's really happening is that everything false is being stripped away so that the real you can rise. Isolation doesn't just reveal truth. It births transformation. Those late nights, those silent tears, those moments where you thought no one saw you, that is the cost of elevation. And people might not understand your silence. They might ask where you've gone, why you've changed, why you're not the same anymore. But you won't always have the words to explain it. Because what happened in isolation
a certain age that you can't grow. I think you can be at any age and still can grow and still can be able to learn something. Like, I think we learn every day.
Noise,
like,
you were being molded in stillness. While they were
some people think they know it all. And I hate that people have that perception about me because I don't know it all. And I'm open to learning new things.
You did the work in silence, and now your results will speak louder than any explanation ever could.
Like, I always would love to grow in different areas of my life, or just different areas and things that I do. Like, I'm open to change. Like,
questions you'd rather avoid.
It's okay. Like, I'm learning to come out of my comfort zone. Like, and they come with the growth.
But you're not. You're shedding. You're elevating.
Definitely over time.
You're stepping
I don't think it'll happen overnight. Like,
doesn't need
I used to think like that, and then I'm like, it should take time.
You have alignment.
You got to be consistent.
And none of those things can be bought.
Yes.
They are earned in the quiet.
It's like, I'm telling y'all, I learn new shit every day, and I be like, wow.
In that kind of solitude, you will never return to the noise the same way again. You'll stop craving shallow conversations. You'll stop tolerating half-hearted love. You'll stop chasing things that don't serve your spirit. You will move with intention, speak
I'm learning
with depth,
just
and
in
think
relationship-wise. Like,
because once you've tasted your own strength in silence, you won't let anything pull you away from it again.
People gotta understand, like,
of your peace.
Our feelings be valid too. Like, people gotta stop downplaying people's feelings and downplaying what they done went through.
Version of you, that grounded, focused, powerful version, is the one who changes everything. That is the one who walks in purpose and refuses to settle. So the next time life gets quiet,
I hope when I get older, I definitely don't be stubborn. I do not want to be a stubborn older person. Like, I want to be definitely an open-minded older person.
The surface. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You are not being forgotten.
You know how shit be just coming at you left and right, left and right, left and right. Like, at one time, like, ooh, this shit, I'm relaying. Like, this crazy.
Because in the stillness, your true power is being born. And when you come out of that season, you won't just survive. You'll realize that isolation wasn't your breakdown. It was your breakthrough. You won't need to explain your silence.
That's why I always advocate for people, like, always have a voice
Because
y'all.
real
I don't be caring
transformation
what it
doesn't need
is,
an announcement.
what
The
situation we
people who
be
are
in,
meant
like
to
what we be
understand
doing.
will
I
feel
think
it the
everybody
moment you
should have
enter
a
the
voice.
room.
I don't think
They'll sense your
nobody should be
strength.
afraid
They'll
to
recognize
speak.
that you went through
I don't
something
care who
sacred.
you is.
So let
If you
them
had a
wonder.
test and it turned
Let
out to be a
them whisper.
testimony, you should be able to
Let them
tell
miss
it.
the old version of
Like,
you.
I'm telling you, we
Because the
got to
one that's
start
emerging
getting
now
outside our
doesn't
comfort
chase,
zone, y'all.
doesn't
Loving
beg,
on
doesn't
ourselves,
break.
y'all. Like,
This one builds.
the stuff
This
I've been
one
seeing
stands
on this
firm.
app.
This one walks with clarity and intention.
Mm-mm.
And now you are building with real focus. Not the kind of focus that just ignores
Girl,
distractions,
I
but the
respect
kind that
that, girl.
remembers
That's
who
what I'm
you
talking
are
about.
in
And
every
you look good
moment.
to be 51.
The
You
kind that
still
chooses
going.
over and
Yeah, that's a
over not to be
blessing. Like,
pulled in every
girl.
direction.
Ooh.
Because when your mind is
Hey,
scattered,
good morning.
your spirit becomes weary. But when your focus is rooted in truth, you move with purpose. You speak with conviction. You walk with a power
I'm
that cannot be
learning.
shaken.
I'm telling y'all, I guess
Focus
the
isn't
older I
about
get, the more
closing
that
your
I do
eyes to the
learn.
world.
And then,
It's
like, my
about
son
seeing
getting
clearly what
older,
matters most.
and I have to
It's
process the
about
different
sacred vision,
attitudes. Like,
seeing beyond the noise, beyond
from a
temporary
boy
thrills,
to a man.
beyond
Like,
what others
it's a
expect of you.
lot.
And when
Like,
you lock
it's
in
a
on your
lot.
purpose, when you stay aligned
And
with
it's my
what you were
only
created
child.
for, that is
Like,
when
and you know, your
everything begins to
kids,
shift.
like,
That is
just
when
to
your
see
soul
him
rises to
outside or
meet your
see him
destiny.
going and
Alignment
gone
doesn't
all the
happen by
time, you know, I
accident.
be worried
It isn't some
sometimes.
magical
But he a
moment
good
that
kid though,
shows
but
up out of
still,
nowhere.
it be shit happening on
Alignment
here, and I
happens
be
when your
like, damn, my
values,
baby
your
grown.
choices, and your
Ooh, y'all.
direction begin to move
Ooh.
together in harmony.
I be like, damn, I wish he
And
was
that
a
only
baby
comes
again.
with focus.
Like,
The
this
world
shit
is
is real
loud.
life.
Temptation is loud. Chaos is loud. But truth doesn't
And I be want
scream.
him to learn that.
Purpose
Watch the
doesn't
people you
shout.
be
They
around.
whisper.
Watch the boys you
And if
be
you're
around.
not
Everybody that's not
focused,
your
you'll
friend.
miss
The
them.
motherfucker that think that
You'll miss
you
the
think your
signs
friend
meant
be the
for you.
motherfucker cross you
You'll
out
miss the
the
opportunities
quickest. He the
designed for
only
you.
child too. People
You'll
be
miss the
jealous. People
divine
think he got
timing that
something and
only
ain't got
reveals
shit.
itself to
Like
the
these
still and the
people,
present.
just minds be
Focus
just
is how you hear God in a
evil.
world full of noise.
Like we,
Focus
ooh,
is how you remember your purpose when everything around you
yes, my
tries to distract you
baby.
from it. And in that remembrance, in that clarity, alignment begins. But the truth is, focus comes with a cost. It costs comfort. It costs convenience. It costs relationships that once made sense but no longer support who you're becoming. You can't be everything for everyone and still stay aligned with your assignment. You can't live with a scattered mind and expect to walk in clarity. Focus requires boundaries. Focus requires stillness. Focus requires discipline. Because alignment isn't just about what you bring into your life. It's also about what you're willing to release. The wrong people, the harmful patterns, the misplaced priorities, they all have to go. And in that letting go, real strength is born. As your focus sharpens, life begins to clear. What once felt confusing starts making sense. What was blocked
Yes.
starts opening up.
Yeah,
Not
that's, you know,
because
some
you
people
pushed
don't
your
even
way
like to
through,
have
but because your
clarity.
spirit
I'm
finally
big on
rose to
that.
meet the level of your calling.
Like,
You
clear
don't
that
have to
shit up. Like,
chase
what
what's
do you
meant for you when
mean?
you're aligned with it.
Be
It will
direct.
flow towards you. It will meet you where your energy is focused. But you won't feel that flow if your attention is scattered. Your energy is sacred. What you focus on grows. If you focus on chaos, chaos grows. If you focus on problems, they expand. But if you focus on peace, peace deepens. If you focus on purpose, your path becomes clearer. Focus shifts your entire reality. People may say you've changed. They may say you've become distant or cold. And maybe they're right. Maybe you have changed. Because once you understand what's at stake, you stop playing small. You stop showing up in spaces that
That's how I
drain
know
you.
a lot of these
You
people
stop
don't
over-explaining
have
to
shit in
people
real
who are
life. A lot
already
of these
committed
people
to
ain't got bills, they
misunderstanding
ain't
you.
got priorities.
Focus
Like,
refines
they
you.
ain't got their shit in
It helps
order.
you
But the way
separate
they
what is
even,
urgent from
the
what
shit
is
they even
important.
say on this
You
app,
begin
or the
to
way they
understand
even
that not every call needs to be
move
answered.
just on the
Not every
app, just let
argument
me
needs your
know
voice.
that,
Not every door deserves your
that
presence.
no.
You
I
move
work
from
so hard for
reacting to
everything I got.
responding.
You think I
From
would
being pulled in every
jeopardize
direction to
that?
being rooted in the right one. From constant hustle to intentional harmony.
What,
That's when
girl?
alignment starts to feel like home. When your inner peace matches your outer actions. When your daily choices reflect your highest values. When your habits support your healing. When your goals reveal your growth. When your prayers align with your steps. You feel it in your body.
Yeah.
You see it in your peace. Life stops feeling forced and starts feeling fluid because you're no longer pretending. You're no longer scattered. You're focused. And that focus
How long can
builds
people
momentum.
pretend? Because
That
we do have a
alignment
lot of
creates
pretenders
grace.
around us, y'all.
That commitment
How long do
attracts
y'all
the
be
right
pretending?
people, the
Like,
right
that
opportunities,
shit is a
the right
job.
doors.
Like,
All because you stopped looking
I
outward and
cannot.
started looking inward.
Oh no,
When
fake,
you're
being
truly
fake
focused,
and oh no.
you stop craving validation.
Mm,
You stop needing applause.
mm.
Because you know that the work you're doing in private will show in public when the time is right. Focus teaches patience. Focus teaches trust. It
I don't know
reminds
how
you
either.
that just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't
I
mean
got
it's
so
not
much
coming.
to lose.
Just because
Like I worked
people
so
don't
hard
see
for
the
this shit I
vision doesn't
got,
mean
like,
it's not real.
and to think
You
I would
keep building.
crash or
You
let
keep believing.
somebody
You
that I
keep
don't
showing
know or
up
somebody
without needing a
that
crowd.
in real life
Because
won't even play
alignment
with me
isn't
like that,
about
let me
applause.
lose it. Like,
It's about assignment.
that's why I take that shit
And
as a
focus
joke.
keeps you
I'm
faithful to
telling
that
you,
assignment.
I worked
Let
too
others
hard.
chase what's
I mean,
trending.
I'm honest, I was
You stay grounded
17.
in truth.
Whew.
Let others move for
Everything I
attention.
get on my
You move for
own.
purpose. Let
Mine,
others scroll, wander,
I'm telling
react.
you, move
You
different.
stay rooted, aware, intentional. That's what separates those who are distracted from those who are disciplined. The noisy from the necessary.
Okay.
The confused from the called.
Okay.
Focus is how you protect your peace. It's how you stop giving your time and energy to things that don't serve your destiny. Because not everything deserves your reaction. Not everything requires your presence. And once you know that, once you live that, you become steady. You become clear.
That's why I be telling y'all, when y'all tell y'all
The more
truth once,
focused you are,
you ain't gotta be
the more
kind of defending
sensitive you
that
become
shit.
to misalignment. You feel it faster. You recognize it quicker.
Exactly.
That conversation doesn't sit right. That opportunity. Not when you meet the world's standards, but when you finally rise into your own.
Ooh, y'all. What y'all doing? My phone about to go dead, y'all. I got on her to, I was gonna be messy. Well, I'm not gonna be messy. I was just gonna clear up some, cause you know, I be hate for people to say stuff and they know they don't be telling the truth and I don't just be liking that stuff, y'all. I just had to get some, like, I be positive too, y'all. Like, I real did be positive in real life. On the app, I do be negative, but in real life, I'm positive, y'all. Like, for real. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, boo. Thank you, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. What is you doing, girl? What is you doing? What is y'all doing? Either y'all getting off work, going to work, or y'all rich. Because I know a lot of y'all rich in here, and y'all know y'all can sit and be on the app all day. Yeah. What y'all doing?
He wasn't. So it was better for him to do what he did to himself before somebody else did
Working,
something
get
to
that
him.
money on, baby.